Hi, welcome to Max channel. So, Ryzen motherboard, would you like to know how to fit a CPU and CPU cooler? If so, stay tuned. So, first off, main important job is open up your box. By the way, if you got something that's metal, you might want to touch it and de-earth yourself. Right, that's simple done as that. Now, Ryzen motherboards. They have the AM4 cooler on there, these two things here, but you might notice when we get this CPU cooler out, we need to do a little bit of work here. So, get CPU cooler and processor, oops, we won't need. So, CPU. Now, we can't fit the CPU before you fit the CPU cooler, obviously, so we're going to do that. And with much love and dedication and attention to detail, we shall fit it in. So, typical scenario, lever, lift lever up, lever up. Look for a corner with a little triangle in it. Right there, there's a triangle, even so that has a triangle and that and that and that, little corners, but this one has a little triangle on it. On the processor, you might not be able to see it. It's a tiny little gold triangle there. Oh yeah, you should be able to see it. That little triangle goes into that corner. And when you put it on, like so. Push the lever down. That's locked in place. In the dungeon. Shove that stuff there. Do excuse the mess in the background. The study is currently being used. Oh, as a study. Go figure. Right. We don't need that. So, the CPU cooler. I should actually read up on how this one will work. So, you might notice this here uses 4 screws. Right? That there does not have 4 screws. It has the clip assembly there. But that's fine. We can fix that problem quite simply. Take a screwdriver. Undo one. That way if it takes a little while. I would recommend to keep these parts safe in future in case you happen to be changing out CPU cooler. Now, I have mentioned that this motherboard here supports the AM4 cooler as well as AM3. You just take the mounting bracket from the previous motherboard generation off the motherboard and transfer onto the AM4 cooler, well, onto the AM4 motherboard, like so. But I'm using the stock CPU cooler because I don't trust my old water cooler. It is old, so I'll be using the stock cooler. Besides, you know, the stock cooler is meant to be quiet. I don't need to worry about it leaking. So, on that note, let's have a look. Orientation of this cooler. So we'll put it in there. You might notice this here is the top, right there. The AMD branding would be wrong way round. Now, you'd be happy to know you can fix that problem. You can fix that problem. We'll just shove this, go to the side for a minute. Don't worry too much about the heatsink paste underneath it. You don't need to worry too much about it. I'm just putting it on the plastic mounting. Grab a screwdriver, which should make this slightly awkward, but achievable. If you hear some crunching noise, don't worry about it. It's just simply the screw catching the plastic. I do wish AMD, well, I can't really complain about it because, you know, it's not a free cooler, but it's a cooler nevertheless. So, if you hear crunching noise, don't worry too much about it. But yeah, 95 watt TDP with this cooler, apparently. It's meant to be quite quiet compared to previous generations of AMD coolers, and I have used the previous ones with the old FX bulldozers, and you know, it wasn't actually that bad as a processor cooler, but as soon as you came to 100% CPU load, it was horrendous. Right, okay, so take those screws out. That's right, got one more to loosen off. Right, okay, that's off like that. So, in case no one has ever noticed, there is a vapor chamber on this CPU cooler. So, we know we want the cooler like that, so we know we want it like that. So all we need to do is, instead of having it like that, have it like that. So you prop it on top like so. Simples. And then you can have the right orientation for the AMD branding. If you happen to be such a person with OCD. Yeah. What you need to do now is just thread the needle gently, and it'll be a spawn. Just beware just to get the threads right, otherwise you'd be fighting with a little screwdriver into screws that are, quite frankly, screws, not bolts. I would prefer the bolt, and that's why this one's been a pain. Just putting everything to a squint. Oh dare you. Yeah. We'll get a true form triangle set up here. Triangle, square, and we'll get it squared. At some point you're gonna find a thread, aren't you? Yeah. He says. Right, next one. They don't exactly make this easy to do, I'll be honest. But at least it can be achieved. Right, okay. I don't know why AMD didn't automatically think of that one. Oh, wow, them screws are definitely not on properly. Wow, talk about I went a little bit off there. Yeah, I don't know why AMD didn't just think about that one. Oh crap. Because obviously the orientation of the majority of all the processor holders are going to be that way. So I don't know why they didn't just simply put the cooler on in such a way that that orientation would obviously be that direction. But no, someone obviously didn't think of that one. Damn, come on. Right, okay, so we have the CPU in the correct orientation with the CPU cooler fan being in the right direction. Simples. Simples. I don't know how I came to that one. So, start. Just do it in small increments, just bite the thread a little. The CPU cooler, I would admit the springs on it are quite tough. It's like I've only done a couple of threads and this is already 1/2 feet of a chunk to try and catch the thread now. Wow, that is really bad. That is going to have some tension on it. Actually trying to tell if this one's biting or not. It is now. Yeah, like I say, these springs on this here is slightly tougher than I would have preferred, if I'm honest. I don't personally want to go overboard on this, so I'm going to go to a certain point where I'm happy with the tension. And don't get me wrong, I'm not putting a lot of force on it, but I'd rather not go overboard. And that is the processor and processor cooler installed. Which one was the CPU cooler one? I believe it's the second one. Do check on your motherboards, what you call it, information leaflets for which one happens to be the case. But anyway, there we are. That would be the right orientation for the I/O as well as the CPU cooler up here, like such. And spinning away we shall. So, thank you very much for watching the quick tutorial on how to fit a AM4 cooler, stock cooler, and correct an orientation. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you much.